The old folks say those who die violently can't move on. They're trapped in their final moment, repeating it endlessly until they drag a living person down the same way. Only then can they break free. They call it the substitute ghost. I used to think it was superstition. Then I ran into one myself in middle school. Nearly 40 years later, the memory still makes my skin crawl. It was the early 1980s, a township middle school below Baoshan in Yunnan. My mother had been transferred to the countryside, so I transferred with her. The campus was old wooden buildings taken apart and rebuilt. All timber, creaky joints where every footstep echoed through the floor. No beds or electricity, floor mats and kerosene lamps. Half the students walked home. Mountain kids boarded. I boarded. At first, 20-some girls crammed together was exciting. Gossip by candlelight. The trouble came fast. Our dorm was 2 stories, staircase facing the second-floor hallway. My room was right at the top. Just days into the term, something happened. It was a Wednesday. We'd blown out the candles and gone to sleep. Around 2 in the morning, half conscious, I felt something pulling my blanket at the foot. Not a breeze, a real steady tugging. I snapped awake. Pitch black, no moon. I couldn't see anything, but my feet felt it unmistakably. A hand, 5 fingers clamped around my ankle through the blanket. Every hair stood up. I shook the girl next to me. She kept matches and a candle for bathroom trips. "Light it," I whispered. "See who's there." She fumbled, struck the match. Several girls stirred, but when the candle rose, nothing. My blanket smooth, door shut, windows shut. "Just a nightmare," they said, and went back to sleep. But I couldn't. Dreams don't grip like that. 5 ice-cold fingers, not weather-cold, but a chill seeping from the bone. Like that hand had come from ice water. I curled into a ball, but the freezing marks stayed on my ankle. About half an hour later, a creak. The door. Old dry hinges shrieking. But no one walked through. Impossible. In this building, even tiptoeing made floorboards groan. No one had gone out. Then a thud downstairs, a foot on the stairs, someone coming up. But the rhythm, between each step, nearly half a minute. Thud. Long silence. Thud. Like a stiff corpse inching up step by step. With every step water dripping. Plop. Plop. Dull and heavy. The thing was soaked through. My heart hammered in my throat. Near the top it stopped, then turned and went down. At the bottom, birds burst from the courtyard trees, then water splashing, a full basin flung across the ground. Then the footsteps entered the stairwell again. Same rhythm. Up, turn around, down, splash. Birds, identical, like a loop. Once, twice, 3 times. I counted, my scalp tightening. This thing was replaying its death, crawling from water, climbing stairs, searching, not finding, returning. Trapped forever. Shaking under my blanket, the older cook girl across from me whispered, "You hear it too? Come sleep with me. I'm leaving tomorrow." I crawled to her mat. We clung together, trembling. Neither of us slept, listened to the footsteps coming and going over and over. At dawn, the rooster crowed. The sound cut off instantly. Dead silence, as if nothing had happened. The next day, rumors flew. The girls' dorm was haunted, a hand pulling blankets. Boys joked. I drifted like a sleepwalker. After the final bell, I crossed the small mountain to my mother's staff quarters, alone. Thick woods on both sides. Wind through the trees sounded like weeping. I sprinted the whole way, backpack banging, shirt soaked with sweat. My mother brushed it off. Wood expands and contracts. Creaking is normal, probably a leaky faucet. Study, don't waste time on nonsense. She rapped my head with her chopsticks without looking up. For a moment I almost believed her, but there were no faucets near our building, and that hand, even now closing my eyes, I can still feel that icy grip. Next morning, a classmate ran up, face white. "You were lucky to go home. We nearly lost our minds. Not footsteps, crying too. A boy's voice sobbing downstairs like someone choking on grief, throat full of water. She begged me to stay that night. During the day, I psyched myself up. Wood creaking. I told them, fine, I'm staying. By evening's end, I was drowning in regret, but walking the mountain alone at night was worse. I gritted my teeth, repeating, wood. My legs stayed weak. That night was the real nightmare. After everyone slept, the footsteps returned. Thud, pause, thud, same rhythm. But this time, it came up, onto the second floor, down the hallway. I was on the mat by the door. I heard everything, dragging steps, water trailing. It passed our door, stopped at the next room. As it passed, I smelled damp pond mud and rotting weeds seeping through the door crack. I held my breath. The neighbouring door creaked open, a grinding shriek in the dead silence. My heart pounded to break from my chest. After minutes, it came out. Downstairs, birds, splash, then the cycle. Up, push the neighbouring door, enter, exit, down, over and over. Deep in the night, the cycle broke. Footsteps stopped outside our door. Creak! Our door swung open. I went rigid, no breathing, didn't dare look, but I felt it, something in the doorway looking at us one by one, the weight of being watched. The air thickened, pressing down. I felt its gaze slide from my head to my feet and back, checking, identifying who slept where. Dripping louder than ever. Plop, plop, just inside the door. The thing stood in our room, water streaming off its body. I burrowed into my blanket. Sweat soaked everything. Nails dug into my palms, eyes squeezed shut. Don't come closer, don't come closer, don't come closer. It didn't. It stood at the doorway another minute, then retreated. Footsteps dragging down the corridor. Stairs, splash, birds, same sequence, no relief. I understood. It was searching, it wouldn't stop. When the rooster crowed, my body went limp. The thing vanished. I was dazed all day, jerking awake from the same nightmare. Underwater, frozen, a hand reaching from the depths for my ankle. The ghost rumours spread. Teachers were told to preach science, but their eyes darted nervously. An uneasy pall hung over the school. At meals, heads down. Mention the pond, warning glances. Eventually, we got a name from the old boiler man. He'd been there decades. A few brave girls asked, "Uncle, have you heard footsteps at night?" He crouched by the boiler, feeding wood to flames, face half lit. Long silence. It was Zhang's death anniversary. He came back looking for a substitute. The name hit me. Zhang had been in my sister's class, top student. The summer before, he'd drowned in a pond near school. Couldn't swim, never went near water. That day, classmates dragged him along. He never came up. When they pulled him out, his body was bloated beyond recognition. He'd died exactly 1 year ago, and my sleeping spot had been his. Suddenly I understood the water, the searching. It was looking for its old spot, for the person sleeping there. It had checked every room one by one. A chill crawled down my spine. From day one, I'd been in Zhang's old spot. That hand the first night, reaching for me. Not random, coming for me. He'd been underwater a full year, and on his anniversary he crawled out to drag someone down. The boiler man tossed more wood into the fire. His shadow stretched long. I stood in the doorway, summer heat outside, goosebumps rippling up my arms. After that, every girl who could went home. Me too. Every night, no matter how late or far, I walked the mountain path. Scary as it was, nothing compared to that building. I walked that path a whole semester. Come autumn, it was dark when school let out. My flashlight cut a tiny circle of light. Everything beyond, pure black. At the densest woods, I ran, gasping, bursting through the door doubled over. My mother asked why. I said exercise. I couldn't say the wind in the trees sounded like weeping. But the thing hadn't gone. Students still there said the footsteps continued. Every night on schedule. Trapped in that pond. trapped in that building. Walking home, we discussed it. Some pitied Zhang, a bright student dragged to senseless death. Others said now he's trying to harm someone. How is he different from those who dragged him? I couldn't join in. One thought, as long as he doesn't come for me. Constant dread took its toll. Even at my mother's, my ears stayed pricked, waiting for those half-minute footsteps. I lost weight. She didn't know I lay awake for hours. Then one day, a girl from school drowned in that same pond. She never went near it. But that afternoon, she went alone, found floating face down. No one knew why. No one heard a scream. Quietly, she followed Zhang. The atmosphere changed. People barely spoke, gave the pond wide berth. Teachers ordered no one near the water. Everyone knew it wasn't about safety. After that, the footsteps stopped for good. Everything went quiet. Zhang had gotten what he waited for, pulled someone into the depths, freed himself. The boiler man never mentioned it again, but once, passing his hut, I heard him mutter, "Gone now. Time to go." The girl's funeral was simple. Family came, wept, took her home. The school put up a sign, "Danger, deep water, no swimming." Eventually it fell over. No one picked it up. I was 13. Nearly 40 years later, I still wonder, if the substitute ghost is real, then who is waiting at the bottom of that pond now? Sometimes I imagine, what if that first night